Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I'm Sharif Kasimba, Chair Safeguard International. I wish to inform the public that we have moved now 9 days to our COP29. We are just remaining with only 3 days to go to end our COP29. So what does it mean? You are free to join us either face to face, that is when you come to Baku, Azerbaijan, or online when you visit the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change official website. You'll be able to watch various videos that are live. So ladies and gentlemen, I will start with something which was said by one or two most recognizable personnel in the entire world. The first one is, it was said by the former US President, Dr. Joe Biden, said that clean energy revolution is here. Same was said by the United Nations and Secretary General Antonio Guterres that clean energy revolution is here. Nobody, no group, no government can stop it. What does it mean? We just need climate financing to implement mitigation and adaptation measures. What is climate financing? Climate financing is the funding essential to combat, to fight climate impacts. This is done by supporting developing countries, of course, by developed countries. So it is very, very important. It is very, very important to get to know that there is a very big gap between developed countries and developing countries. To close that gap, to implement the clean energy revolution, we need climate financing. In my previous videos, I shared the introduction of climate financing. Of course, I said the money that comes in public sector, private sector, and development banks. So, I was able to talk about the 10 goals, financial goals, that were set for the COP29. Follow my videos. Yesterday, but one, I had to go deeply to the Paris Agreement 2015. This was the agreement where developed countries agreed to mobilize US dollars 100 billion annually. And due to the demand, we are seeing the post-2025 plan. Of course, that will include not only US dollars 100 billion annually, but more than that, because the resources are needed in the developing countries. For the developing countries to close the gap, to implement what we want as developed countries, we need to participate we need to contribute the money to climate financing strategies. Today, I just want to look at public versus private funding in climate financing. I will start with public. When we talk about public, we are talking about governments. We are talking about the multiple or multilateral, almost companies or institutions. We are talking about development banks that contributes, that provide public funds to support vulnerable regions, countries. Those are developing countries to address climate change. What does it mean? Under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, they have already come up with the public fund under the Green Climate Funds and Adaptation Fund, where countries, developing countries, can access the loans in that way to see that they can implement the strategies that we need to have, that we were agreed upon, that we are agreeing day in, day out, from the COP28 to the COP29 and all other COPs. What does it mean? We need to participate in climate financing. It is very important in order to have what was said by our leaders, that clean energy revolution is here. So what we need is the climate financing on. Next is the private. When we talk about private funding, we are referring to the businesses or investors providing private funds. Of course, this one can be done practically by investing in renewable energy programs. Take an example. My company, Safeguard International, is a private consulting company that can be able to invest in renewable energy with an aim of reducing the emission, implementing the mitigation measures that will be able to lead to the mitigation. When I invest in renewable energy, I'm reducing the high number of population that are depending on the fossil fuels to run their work. And you know, when you burn fossil fuels, you are able to have greenhouse gases being released to the atmosphere. And once it is released to the atmosphere, it pollutes it, and the situation worsens. So, when we invest in the renewable energy, we are investing in solar energy that is free from emissions. We are investing in biofuel, which is free from emissions. We are investing in tidal energy that is free from emissions. We are investing in wind energy that is free from emissions. What does it mean? We are going to have a sustainable environment for today and tomorrow and the generation to come. So private sectors and public sectors, they must be able to carry, we call it partnership. They must be able to partner. You and me, we must partner together. The government can provide funds, but for us, we can also invest in renewable energy programs. Of course, I did not talk about it, but people have started investing in renewable energy, have started investing in electrical cars everywhere. Why? we need sustainable environment. So, with today's conversation about the public versus the private funding in sustainable in climate financing, it is very important to get to know that we must be able to carry out something that is good for everyone, and that is patterning. We must be able to pattern and come up with the unique goals that will be able to support the climate financing, that will be able to help the developing countries to develop those ones that are developing, and as well to come up with something that is very unique for you and me. Habibi, just as I can tell you, I'm an HSE practitioner, but I'm passionate to sustainability and of course to climate change. One of the key things that I consider in my life, that once I see a gap, I'm always grabbing it. I started with the COP29. I didn't see anything on the social media regarding COP29. I volunteered because I saw the gap. As a starter, somebody who learned a lot from the COP28 that was held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I had to see the gap and I grabbed that. I had to distribute, to add out more information about the COP29. Now it is today it is the 9th day to our COP29. And of course I had to see a gap in the climate financing, because when we go in these discussions, when we are given opportunities, we are always learning from that experience. I saw the gap in climate financing. Who is supposed to do what? I had to grab that. And currently I'm on the series of climate financing, where I give my view. Somebody has the right to disagree with me and has the right to agree with me and learn from my experience. I'm always eager to learn from the experienced personnel, because they have already led me to the next step. I thank for those whom I've collaborated with in this course, and like I always say, behind me is the Dubai Flame, one of the iconic tourist attractions in Dubai. Just feel free to visit it at any time. Habibi, welcome to Dubai. Dubai, when I talk to Dubai, I always tell people that everything is possible in Dubai. When you go to US, they say the promised land. In Dubai, it is land of dreams. You can come to Dubai and you achieve your dream. Habibi, welcome to Dubai.